Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the bt65 chambered in .25 from Hatsan.
Let's talk a little bit about power and performance. So, this gun lands directly inside the sweet spot of 900 FPS. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, I've seen some pellet guns that go up to like 1,000 and 1,250. Well, guess what? You don't actually want that. Because when a pellet reaches those speeds, it goes into supersonic. Supersonic will create turbulence in front and behind the pellet, causing erratic movement and instability, thus lessening accuracy. And also, if you're worried about your, neighbors getting angry about noise, well, that's not a good thing. The sonic boom will likely have them calling the police. Alright, so while we're here, let's talk about backyard friendliness. This, in its stock form, is not backyard friendly by any means. It ranges anywhere from 96 to 101 decibels, and that's similar to about a car backfire. So, to prevent neighbors getting a little bit angry, what I've done is I've gotten a aftermarket 3D printed internal suppressor system. Yes, this is legal. It is built inside the gun. So, and keep in mind, it's also an air gun, so it's legal anyways. So what this is a standard cone shape. You can find these on eBay, well, that's at least where I found this one, for I think it's about $25-ish, and that will drastically improve the sound output in a good way. It will lessen it. Right now it's going at about 70 decibels, which is a little bit higher than talking. That's about if someone was yelling or shouting. So that's good. Or no, better yet, just clap. That's about what it's like. Alright, so let's talk about power. Now, we're not talking about speed right now. We've already discussed that it goes up to 900 FPS and a little bit past, depending on what the pellet you say. But actually, let me mention that really quick. So, pellets that weigh about under 26 grains, I do not recommend using. They will go pretty fast. Like, I have these 20 grain field target trophies from H&N. They end up going into transonic, and how you know that they've gone into transonic is you could chronograph it, or you can hear for a high-pitched whistle. A high-pitched whistle is the turbulence in and outside of the pellet. So now let's actually talk about power. Okay, so this gun will range anywhere from 55 foot-pounds to about 60 foot-pounds. Let me just give you an idea. Your standard 177 brake barrel, make sure it's 177, will only shoot about 12 foot-pounds of energy. I'm sure many of you have experienced with brake barrel 177s, because that's usually about the entry point. Alright, so now we have power, FPS, all listed. Now let's talk about the handling of this. This is a very accurate shot, but it was designed for extreme bench rest, so it's very heavy, which will cut back the recoil. But if you're trying to do a free-handing shot without a rest, you'll find yourself moving around quite a bit because, well, the gun itself weighs about 12 pounds. That's a lot, alright? Now, when you add the scope on there, it could be up to 16 pounds. Mine comes in at 16.71 pounds. That is a lot of weight. You're definitely going to need to be resting this rifle when you're trying to shoot accurately. Now, let's talk about the rotary clip here. For the 25 caliber, it holds a 9-shot rotary magazine that will easily load and feed pellets. You want to make sure you put it in the right way, though. Alright, so since we're not talking about the action here, to load the rotary magazine into the rifle, you're going to need to pull back the bolt, make sure it's locked back. There's another bolt up here. You need to slide that forward and up. Then you can slide the Rotary Magazine in and slide the bolt up here down, and then you can bring it back forward, and then you're ready. Now, cool little feature about this, the Rotary Magazine will not spin. It has a anti-double feed safety mechanism, so when I pull this back, notice how it didn't move. Now, say if I were to decock it, okay, how you decock is you hold down you grab the bolt, you press the trigger, and you slowly let it go. Now when I go to pull it back, you'll see that it's spun, because it thinks that it's a new shot. Now let's talk a little bit about the grip and the stock. The stock is a fully adjustable butt piece. You have up and back. This will just help you get the most comfortable experience out of your rifle. This is, I believe, is a polymer infill material. So it's pretty strong, but I don't think you should be dropping this either way, just from the price point. This is definitely not going to be a beater, and this is going to be something that you want to take very good care of. Alright, now these rubber pieces, they're actually pretty nice. They're a great way to hold onto the gun when shooting or otherwise carrying it. They are very comfortable. They are sticky, so you will not lose your grip. Okay, let's go over here. So underneath here, you have a Picatinny rail for bipods and, well, flashlights or lasers, or whatever you're into. If it was me, I would go bipod or tripod. Now up here you also have a Weaver style scope mount. Weaver style will allow you to put 11mm dovetail or 22mm Picatinny on here. Not saying it's the best system in the world, but it's pretty great. Now let's talk about range. I was able to shoot out to about 200 yards, no problem. Maybe 4 or 5 inch spread. That's pretty respectable for an air gun. Now scope wise, a 24 power like what I have on here, way overkill. Way overkill. But how could I resist, honestly? It's way too much. But it's great. I love it. Let's talk about just a little bit about the rest of the handling performance here. The trigger is what I would like to refer to as a featherweight trigger. When you pull the trigger, there is no movement. It's boom, right there. It barely even moves. That's going to be very good for accuracy. Now again, this was designed for extreme bench rest. Oh, what do I have in my hand here? Oh, it's just a fill probe. So for the gun itself, up here you have a removable air tank. Now what you would want to do to remove it is just unscrew it like you would any other bolt, nut, screw, whatever. And it will slide out. It does not need to be discharged or decompressed before you do that. It is safe to just unscrew it. Now for filling this, you're going to need to slide this. This is a dust protector. You're going to need to slide this till you have the open hole, and then slide this in and hook it up to your air source and fill it up. Make sure to decompress the line before you remove it, or else you'll end up with quite the very loud pop, and it would be very difficult to remove. Now, one thing about the fill probe, it does not come with the adapter piece for airlines. So you're going to need to buy that separately. It does come with the actual fill probe, just the adapter piece is what you're going to need to buy separately. Speaking of air, for me, I like to run a scuba tank. So as you can see, I have my setup right here, just pretty standard. Measures, little gauge, yeah, bleed valve, all of it. There you go, it's quick release 2. You're gonna want that. Now, pretty sure we've covered most of this gun, so let's get into more of the niche items about this. Power adjustment. Yes, you can adjust the power. No, you cannot do it on the fly. Adjusting the power requires disassembling the rifle just a little bit, not too terrible. You just take off the stock, remove that, and there should be a 6mm Allen key on the back to adjust the hammer spring tension. The tighter you have it, the more power, but the tighter you have it, the harder it's going to be to pull the bolt back. Now, say if you're, trying to shoot in your backyard, you have some not so nice neighbors, you might not want to increase the power, but decrease it. Decreasing the power will give you quieter shots, a few more of them too. Just maybe about 10 round plus difference if you were to lower the power a bit. So I believe that we've covered everything at this point. Yes, we have. That is everything. So, quick thing. Yes, it can shoot slugs. I have the H&N Grizzly. These perform very well out of this, and we'll be sure to put quite the punch to whatever you're aiming at. It could be targets, it could be, little fluffy things. Not dogs, like pest. Just getting that out there. Yes, that concludes the video for today. Enjoy
And have a nice one.